When my children were young, it was tricky to sometimes see them struggle on their own to do something different or new. As a parent, I would stand ready to help, knowing that it would be so much easier for them if they would simply ask. And yet when I offered, I'd get that same irritable response, "I can do it, Daddy." When we struggle as churches, we sometimes have the tendency to be like my children, to feel that we must do it on our own and that to ask for help from others will somehow mean we lose our identity, or that it will threaten the way we do things or compromise the values we hold. And yet we can do so much more in partnership with others. Paul warned the church in Corinth against thinking that they didn't need others. For no matter how significant you are, it is only because of what you are a part of. An enormous eye or a gigantic hand wouldn't be a body, but a monster. What we have is one body with many parts, each its proper size and in its proper place. No part is important on its own. We're meant to work together as a single body in partnerships and networks, now more than ever. With many of us in smaller churches with limited resources, we need to learn to join with others, to share what we have, and to receive what we lack with openness and grace. It may be that the church we're a bit suspicious of might surprise us. There are some wonderful examples in our diocese of where churches from very different traditions and outlooks have reached out to one another to see God's kingdom grow. But let me go a bit further, because sometimes, and hear me out, sometimes those networks and partnerships might even reach beyond the church. As we seek to love and serve our communities, to see transformed lives, we need also to be ready to work with others in those communities. When Israel was exiled to Babylon, they were fixed on keeping themselves separate and apart, thinking that this was a blip. After all, they were the chosen race, separate from the place they found themselves. But God wanted them to know that this community was now their community. Build houses and live in them. Plant gardens and eat what they produce. Take wives and have sons and daughters. Take wives for your sons and give your daughters in marriage, that they may bear sons and daughters. Multiply there and do not decrease. But seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare. Moreover, God will sometimes work through those people outside in carrying out his plans. Perhaps the clearest picture of this is the story of Ruth. Ruth was a Moabite woman, but she refused to leave her Israelite mother-in-law Naomi, and instead returned to Judah with her. There she married Boaz and becomes a part of the lineage of David and Jesus. There will be in our communities people and organisations of peace. They may not necessarily call themselves Christian. They may even hold other faiths. But they will be ready to reach out to us, to serve alongside us, and God will work through them just as he did through Ruth, to see lives and communities transformed. As we engage in God's work of loving and serving our communities, seeking our welfare through our community's welfare, where are those people of peace? They may be in charities, schools, faith groups, local government, or 1,000 other places. But we won't find them unless we seek them out and make ourselves open and vulnerable, ready to receive and to give.